The Virtual Boys would like to apologize for this week's episode. Unfortunately, we lost an entire audio file, James's audio actually, and so it's been a bit of a nightmare trying to salvage parts of this episode. Unfortunately, that means our Xenoblade 2 discussion is going to have to wait because that relied so much on James, as well as our Game Awards deliberation. So enjoy this episode about The Legend of Zelda DLC and a few other little things. And again, we apologize for any weirdness that might come out of me trying to cut out all of the parts where James was speaking. Thanks. You're listening to the Virtual Boys Podcast, a Nintendo podcast about Nintendo things by Nintensity. This podcast is done by four friends that talk about anything and everything Nintendo. Check out the website at nintensity.com and be sure to follow us on social media. Be sure to subscribe and share the show with your friends. Oh, of course, enjoy the show. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Virtual Boys Podcast, a Nintendo podcast about Nintendo things. This is episode 79, and I'm your host, David. We'll beat them with the power of friendship. And we've got with us today Skylar.
I'm really feeling it.
And Jordan.
Meh.
Indeed.
I don't know what I said. I haven't played Xenoblade, so...
Meh.
They told me to say this.
Well, we'll talk about that in a minute, because today we're going to talk about Xenoblade Chronicles 2 as well as the new Zelda DLC. But before we start, we just want to remind you to check out our Patreon page. These episodes are still going up early as a reward for those that support us, and that's available at patreon.com/Nintensity. And if you want to talk about this episode or other Nintendo things, check out our Discord community at nintendo.city/Discord. Anyway, let's jump in and congratulate Nintendo on winning Game of the Year with Breath of the Wild.
First time ever.
Anyway, let's move on to our next topic, which is the Zelda DLC that was actually detailed and then released right after the Game Awards. What did you guys think about the trailer? Let's start with the trailer first, since
I thought the trailer sucked.
Yeah.
Yeah, the trailer was terrible.
Trailer.
No.
By the way, Mario Kart 8 is now infiltrated Zelda, so there you go.
I didn't think the trailer was necessarily bad. I don't know. I thought it was cool the way that they showed us quite a bit of stuff. But anyway.
First of all, I thought the whole, all the champions going, oh, blah, 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 shouting random words in the Games Award conference, and then they showing, different lights on the screen. That was stupid. That whole sequence was just stupid. I don't...
You want to talk about spoilers?
Yeah, if you want to talk about spoilers.
If you want to talk about spoilers, that's a spoiler.
But anyway, so then they start with the actual trailer, and it gives no information on what the DLC is. It fails miserably at the one thing it's supposed to be doing, and that's informing the customer what it is. I have tons of friends online who are just I don't even know what this is or if I should buy this. Jordan, please finish it so you can tell me what it is or if it's worth it. And
it's I only knew what was going on in the trailer because of me having played through the game and what I expected it to be based on the information they gave us months ago. You know, we knew it was a story edition, and then I was like, oh, okay, new cutscenes, all right, new Divine Beast, okay, I could piece it together, but I do agree, Jordan, that they didn't explain anything at all. So
yeah, explanation was terrible, and then they throw in the motorcycle at the end, which could have been a big surprise for people who actually finished the DLC. But instead, whatever now. Now it's just, I don't know. I don't even like the motorcycle being in the game.
It's Mario Kart 8 and Zelda, George. Come on.
We now have 3 images from Nintendo of Link on a motorcycle.
One from each game.
One of them's
from Mario Kart 8. One of them is from the concept art for Breath of the Wild, and one of them is the official artwork that they released for this DLC pack. One more, and we'll have 4 Links of the Apocalypse on motorcycles.
Oh my!
Oh man! I wanted details, and it didn't really give any details. Now, I'm loving the DLC. Spoilers for like the rest of the conversation going forward. But the way they presented it, I thought it was a really, really poor way to show off what they've been working on and why we've been waiting so long for this. Well, this spoiled just as much as past Nintendo trailers. We shouldn't have known about the motorcycle since that's the reward for completing the whole quest. So they not only did they not inform us what this is, they also spoiled stuff too. So it's like the worst of both worlds. Mostly just going over like maybe just the beginning sections and like going over like what your goal is for like the side quests. Like how large is it? People didn't even know how big of a thing this is. Luckily, it's large. It's really large, but
yeah, it'll take you probably about 6 hours to play through the whole thing. From what I've seen, a few people that have already cleared it say.
If you have not already purchased the DLC, go ahead and purchase it. It's really good.
It's definitely worth it.
But if you haven't purchased the DLC, the trailer does nothing to tell you why you should purchase the DLC at all. Case in point, just like tons and tons of my friends are just going on and on, just like that. They want to know. They want to know if it's good enough because the first few packs weren't enough of a justification for them to pay $20, and they aren't quite sure what this trailer even means.
Yeah,
but whatever.
Perhaps the trailer was aimed for the people that have played Zelda as much as we have, in a sense. You know, like, you probably recognize this. You could tell that this is new. You could tell that this is new. You could kind of tell what's going on here. That kind of idea is probably what Nintendo thought that they should go for, but given that it was the Game Awards, and not everybody at the Game Awards has actually played it, and the trailer is meant for a more general audience, they probably should have given a bit more information rather than showing off things that I thought looked pretty cool, but yeah, it didn't give a whole lot of info.
Immediately after the trailer, I was still confused whether or not you were going to play through it as Link or the champions. That was another thing, yeah. It only shows him playing as Link with, like, the new armors and stuff. You're not actually, like... They don't show much with Link actually doing things.
Well, they did show him in one of the shrines, but, like, they have those cutscenes where you see some of the champions actually fighting, and that made me think as well, like, wait, do I get to play as Urbosa here?
Yeah, I would have actually
just
really
from
enjoyed that, though.
Yeah, it would have been awesome.
I would have loved to play as the champions instead of, like, give me a different character to play with. But, I mean...
Yeah, I thought we were just going to get like some prequel thing with like us switching around between the champions playing as them.
Yeah, but that's not what we got. Yeah. We got a lot of actually pretty fun, interesting quests. I've played through a decent amount of it. I was playing through it yesterday and the day before. I took a break from Xenoblade because I can only do JRPGs for 50 hours at a time. Just kidding. That's not true. I just wanted to play Zelda. Anyway, and it's really fun. Like, the first portion of the quest is really quite challenging. I mean, it was challenging. It was. And the new shrines have some really cool ideas that they didn't explore at all in any of the other instances throughout the entire game. There's a lot of new stuff.
And I just walked in while you guys were talking about Xenoblade. I just walked into one. I was like, "Whoa! They actually did something interesting with the shrines."
Yeah, there's this one shrine that I had to do where I had to use every single one of my Sheikah slate abilities, like, around the same amount of time. Like, it was interesting. I didn't have to use it that much before. So there's a lot of really cool stuff. I haven't finished it yet, so I can't say exactly how great it is from this point that I'm at, but I do think it's a wonderful DLC expansion. It definitely builds on some of the ideas that they had, and it proved to me that Nintendo has even more ideas up their sleeves for a sequel or a game built around this engine in another part of the timeline for the next Zelda game.
Can I just say, I hope if we get a sequel to Breath of the Wild that the shrines are gone. Like, the shrines are fun. I enjoy the shrines, but I feel like the shrines are holding Zelda back overall. It would have been more enjoyable to have just random caves that you come across that you could have delved into that act like dungeons. The shrines can feel a little copy paste at times, and at least these ones feel a bit different. At least the 3 I've played so far.
Yeah, they added. I won't say how many they've added. Never mind. I know how many, but I won't say how many there are.
But so I don't know. It is interesting that now you can get more orbs. So hopefully you can actually complete the heart
and stamina at the same time. Yeah.
And stamina at the same time. Because that was definitely bothering my OCD.
Like, why do I have 27 hearts? I just need 3 more. Yeah. It's good. But,
I'm not a huge fan of the new weapon. I don't know if you get to keep it after the...
I won't say.
Okay. Not a huge fan of it, though, because I don't like one-shot weapons. If you've seen a pattern at all with me in these podcasts...
This is literally the first thing that you do in the DLC pack. Like, you literally get the weapon first. Like, that's what happens.
Yeah, it's literally the very first thing.
It's the very first thing.
Calling that a spoiler is like saying Oak giving you a Pokemon.
They showed off the weapon in the trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, Jordan isn't even telling you all that it does as well, so...
Well, I'm going to say what it does, because you can't talk about this DLC without talking about at least what happens with the very first 10 seconds of it.
Yeah, okay. I'm fine with that if the other two are.
If it bothers you, I guess turn off your ears or something. I don't know. But... So the weapon, what it does is it's a one-shot weapon. It has infinite damage, so it can kill anything. And the downside to it is that you can't have more than a quarter heart, which I'm already 3 heart challenging anyway, naked run. So it didn't really do much. And so I was like, okay, well, I'll just switch out to a different weapon for the side quest. Nope, you have to use this weapon.
I used a lot more arrows than I used the actual weapon. Yeah. I didn't want to confront things because you only get 2 hits with the weapon before it discharges like the Master Sword.
I'm just running in like a berserker, just running around shooting things. The recharge or the cooldown time is so fast it doesn't matter.
It is really fast. Yeah, that is true. I don't know. I like being stealthy and shooting things with my bow anyway. So, but yeah, it's a cool DLC pack. It's cool where it goes after this first chunk. I've seen a couple of cutscenes. They're really good. A lot better than some of the memories from the original game, and it's definitely worth your time and money to get this DLC pack if you've played through the game. It is better. In my opinion, it's better. But then again, I wasn't really...
The Goron's voice acting really bothered me in the trailer. Yeah. It was...
Silly Derek.
Freaking Derek.
But yeah, I'm enjoying it. I think they have some cool ideas. I'm still at the beginning. It'll be fun, hopefully, until I get the motorcycle. Then I'll hope I can leave it somewhere, like my house or something.
Yeah, I don't know how that works yet. I haven't watched any videos of people using it or anything, and I don't have it yet. So
also, apparently, someone has said that there's a cap on the amount of clothing you can wear or own. Yep. Why?
I don't know. I'm so sorry, Jordan. Your quest to have one of everything in every single color will not happen unless Nintendo patches that.
I have 12 different pairs of Gerudo clothing so far. I'm going to have to get rid of all these, you're saying?
Yeah. See, I saw this post online that had a bunch of screenshots of evidence where she had every single piece of armor that you can get in the game itself, including the original armor that Link gets at the beginning of the game, plus all of the armor you can buy, plus every single piece of armor from the amiibo, plus every single piece of armor from the original DLC, the first pack, I mean. And then she got 4 of the 12, I don't know what the actual number is, of the new armor from this new DLC pack. And when she went to go pick up the next one, she got a notification saying your inventory is full. So you can only have so much armor in the game, even though Nintendo has so many different types. She did not have a single repeat in any of those screenshots. So I don't know why they put a cap on that. If you're collecting absolutely everything, you can't. At least not yet. Who knows if they'll ever patch it. The DLC pack's good, and you should all get it and play it. But Xenoblade is great too.
Yeah, that's what I was doing too. I'm not touching Zelda till I finish Xenoblade, so that's kind of how I am. I focus down one game and then move on to the next.
Well, anyway, that's our thoughts on the Zelda DLC. Let's now talk about what we've been playing this week. Of course, I've been playing Xenoblade and Zelda, and that's pretty much it. So I don't have anything else to say.
Played Xenoblade. Mason wanted to play Halo, so we beat through Halo 3 yesterday. We had a good time doing that. And then I played Bayonetta actually this past week before the announcement of Bayonetta 3 at the conference, which that's pretty hype. It's like, welcome to Super Smash Brothers, where they're confused that Bayonetta is in the game, even though she's probably now, in my eyes, an official like Nintendo character now.
Yeah, I think her spot is locked for Smash 5 now.
Oh yeah,
I'm pretty sure.
They said that Bayonetta 3 is a Switch exclusive.
Yeah.
So if it's being published by Nintendo again,
whoops.
I think Nintendo has the rights to Xenoblade 2. Like, I don't think they can push
Bayonetta 2.
Bayonetta 2.
Yeah, to Bayonetta 2.
Yeah,
not the original, of course, because that one was published by Sega.
Sega, yeah.
But it'll definitely make it difficult to move Bayonetta after 2 and 3 are exclusive Nintendo.
Yeah,
to other platforms.
You'd have to do a Banjo-Kazooie means of terrible takedown to get Bayonetta somewhere else by that point. Especially if Nintendo is funding these projects and publishing them, holy crap, man, that's crazy.
Yeah, Bayonetta seems to be being pushed into second-party territory at this point.
Yeah, just about. She made it to Smash. Nintendo's funding a new game. Yeah, really enjoying Bayonetta. I'm excited for the third game. Combat's fantastic.
How about you, Jordan? What have you been up to?
Well, a bit of Zelda. I also got a review copy to a game called The End Is Nigh from Nicholas. And I'm going to get through a review for the website as fast as I can. I have finals, so it won't be until like next weekend. Mm-hmm. But the game is pretty fun. It's another Edmund McMullen game. And if you don't know who he is, he's done stuff like The Binding of Isaac and Super Meat Boy. So I've been a fan of his kind of games for a while now. And I was really looking forward to playing this game because it feels like kind of a darker Super Meat Boy almost. And so, yeah, it is darker, which is what I wanted. It's not as fast-paced as Super Meat Boy was, which I was a bit disappointed by, but it's still really challenging and fun. Mm-hmm. So I don't want to compare it too much to Super Meat Boy, because I feel like that it's kind of unfair to The End Is Nigh. If you haven't played Super Meat Boy or The End Is Nigh, I would suggest going to Super Meat Boy instead. But if you've already played all throughout Super Meat Boy and you're ready for more fun platforming, then The End Is Nigh is pretty nice too. But the goal of The End Is Nigh is you're a gamer who lives in an apocalyptic world where everything's pretty much already dead, and you want to go out and make a new friend out of tumors that you can collect throughout the world. So you collect all these different tumors to build a friend, and that's the goal. I haven't beaten it yet because I haven't had a whole lot of time, but I'm pretty close to the end. And some of the tumors are really difficult to get. So but yeah, instead of like buzzsaws killing you, it's mostly growing tumors and stuff and spikes, and
that's cool.
It's pretty cool. No, there doesn't seem to be any boss battles like Super Meat Boy had.
Oh,
but it's enjoyable. It's enjoyable. I really like it. It's really fun. It is a lesser version of Meat Boy, it feels like, though.
Yeah. I mean, the bosses in Super Meat Boy are basically Simon Says anyway.
Yeah.
So you're not missing too much, I guess. But unless you like Simon Says. So.
But yeah.
Cool. I know you haven't finished it, but do you have a score that you're thinking about?
I think I'm going to hold off on the score until I write the review. That's
totally fair. So look out for that review, everybody. It'll be good. It'll be good. Is there any business that we missed? I think that's pretty much it, right? That was a lot of stuff that we talked about today. So thank you so much for sticking through it, folks. Before we end this episode, I just would like to thank you again, for joining us this episode. Your support means a ton.
And I'd like to shout out to our Patreons, Chris, Chase, and Ratmvp. Your support means a ton. If you want to join them, go to patreon.com/NintenCity. Remember, the episode goes up early as a reward for those that support us.
And I'd like to invite you to join our Discord community. We're trying to set up a fun place for people to visit and hang out. Head to nintendo.city/discord today, and you can really feel it.
You can feel it. I haven't felt things for so long. Anyway.
Oh no!
Oh no, Charlie!
Bursted!
Bursted! Well, thank you so much for tuning into the Virtual Boys podcast this week. Again, we appreciate your support. Don't forget to subscribe and rate us on iTunes, and check out our website at nintendcity.com, where you can find new show notes and more. This week's show notes will be available at nintend.city/EP79. Man, we're coming a long way. Thanks for joining us, and we'll catch you next time.
See ya.
Bye!